Who's gonna go first?
Okay, let me just give one point and then wrap this up, this whole thing up. Mr. Logan was talking about making generic drugs, basically counterfeit drugs to deal with the AIDS thing, cheaper drugs that are not from the original producers. And I think this will have a diverse impact, or rather a negative impact, on the medical business and the medical industry, because these companies that actually put in the legitimate research, the legitimate processes to get to medicine, will start losing because they'll have unfair competition from people cutting corners and making cheaper drugs.
Yeah.
So this will impact those companies, and necessarily this will have a trickle-down effect where the amount of medical research taking place in labs, it goes down, and so forth and so forth. So what they're proposing actually has implications, not only legally, as I mentioned, in the fact that you cannot break the law because of some moral instance that calls for it, because you will always have moral instances that for you to break the law. So you can't just do that. It sets a bad precedent. It will have a negative impact on the medical industry, like I said. And lastly, I think that in the end, you need a better solution to deal with this problem. You need to deal with it at a roots level. You need to educate people. You need to actually be aware or sure that people will take the drugs, which they're currently perhaps not even doing right now, instead of just throwing cheap drugs at them.
Yeah, well, I think there are huge legal issues, but I don't think that's clear-cut as Kevin makes it out to be. We break the law for moral reasons all the time, right of self-defense. Self-defense, to kill someone's about to kill you, that we uphold that in the court of law, man. We say that's fine, right?
It was a slippery moment.
It is grey, it's not black and white. But that aside, even if some companies lose a couple of $1 billion, it's not like these companies are doing poorly now. They're driving around Benzes, flying their Lear jets. Their kids are all taken well care of. No, we're not putting anybody in the street here, right? What we're doing, we're taking people out of the street. Now, he said this is not the solution to the problem. I agree. I think this is part of the solution to the problem. Of course, we need more education. We need to make sure people take their drugs. We need to make sure people take the right drugs at the right time. But we need to make sure people have drugs to take in the first place. Now, these drugs not just solve. We don't have a solution to AIDS. It doesn't get rid of the virus. But it allows people to continue living their lives. They go to work, they can be parents, they can continue taking care of the people who depend on them, and then they can be sustainable. And I think that will help societies build around this issue and not make it like, the moment you get AIDS in a situation or an environment where you cannot afford the medication, it's a death sentence. It's not a death sentence. It's something that we can continue to live with, and then we need to think about how we can solve the problem. So you're right, man. I'm with you. It's a long-term solution, but this is part of the problem.
He's with me, ladies and gentlemen. Fantastic.
I'm always.
We don't even have to continue.
You know what? That was a very beautiful one. That was a very beautiful one. I do applaud you. All right, you are from Malaysia.
Yes, I am.
Currently based in Korea, right?
Based in Korea.
Right. What are you guys up to? What are you guys doing here? Can you tell us a brief of what you are doing here in Botswana?
This time in Botswana, in a couple of days, for the first time ever, we'll be hosting the Pan-African Universities Debating Championships. This is a historic moment. For the first time, countries around Africa come together to debate, to use words, to convince each other, to discuss issues that are important to the continent as a whole. We hope this will be a base, a platform from which to integrate debate communities all around Africa. There's a lot of debate all around Africa, but it's spread out. People don't come together as much, and we hope this time we'll pull together the good people at UB, Justice, Kevin and all at Gantro. Tons of work trying to organize this, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be awesome.
Nice. Is everybody allowed to come through? And
everybody is allowed to come through. It's a public affair, and we encourage, in fact, the public to come through and listen to this exchange of ideas on these sort of topical issues that we've been going on about here today right now. We are also trying to get in as many high school kids to come in as well, and maybe get some sort of volunteer things that they can do, so that they can take it back to their high schools and sort of learn a few things and establish that down there. You see, we're trying to do the whole trickle down effect, so that by the end of this, really we've gone a mile in terms of establishing the culture of debate in our society, and hopefully even outside of that. So the public is invited, and for anybody who's in high school, who's in one of those high school debate clubs and that, come on board, and we can do sort of some volunteer programs that we can work you guys into and things like that.
They can check Monday,
and we start on Monday until Sunday.
You can check the website for more details.
What's the website?
botsdebating.com, botsdebating.com.
Or they can call Justice at 7246 7417.
Not for the wrong professional, not for the wrong
just business.
Just only calling him and asking him about Big Brother.
We're only doing debate rounds here.
I know it's still haunting you right now. Gentlemen, thanks so much for coming through once again.
Thanks for having us. Thanks for having us.
We have somebody who's taking beautiful pictures. Let me post. Alright, this is I Am FM, Live the Music. It's 12:51. I'm out of here at the top of the hour.